In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and in the process, He fashioned a beautiful garden known as the Garden of Eden. This paradise was filled with lush trees, rivers, and animals of all kinds. In the center of the garden, God placed two special trees, Tree of Life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. After creating this perfect environment, God formed man from the dust of the earth, breathed life into him. This man was named Adam. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden and gave him the task of caring for. He told Adam that he could eat from any tree in the garden except for one, tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God warned that if Adam ate from this tree, he would surely die. Seeing that it was not good for Adam to be alone, God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. While he slept, God took one of Adam's ribs and made a woman to be his companion. When Adam awoke, he saw her and named her Eve, declaring her to be bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Together, Adam and Eve lived in harmony with nature and each other, free from shame. One day, a cunning serpent approached Eve. The serpent was more crafty than any of the other animals in the garden, and he questioned Eve about God's command. Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Serpent asked. Eve replied, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. God said we must not eat from the tree in the middle of the garden, or we will die. You will not surely die, the serpent said. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like God, knowing good and evil. Eve, tempted by the serpent's words, and seeing that the fruit was desirable for gaining wisdom, took some and ate it. He also gave some to Adam, who was with her. He ate as well. Immediately, their eyes were opened. They realized they were naked. In their newfound shame, they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, they hid among the trees. God called out to Adam, "Where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." God then asked Eve, "What is this you have done?" Eve responded, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." God, angry at their disobedience, pronounced judgments on each of them. He cursed the serpent to crawl on its belly and declared that there would be enmity between the serpent and the woman and between their offspring. To Eve, he said that childbirth would be painful and that her desire would be for her husband, but he would rule over her. To Adam, God said that the ground would be cursed because of him, and he would have to toil and labor to produce food. Finally, God declared that both of them would return to the dust from which they came. Because of their sin, Adam and Eve were banished from the Garden of Eden. God placed cherubim and a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life so that they could not eat from it and live forever. This story is often interpreted as an allegory about the fall of humanity and the introduction of sin into the world, symbolizing disobedience, temptation, and the loss of innocence. It also reflects themes of free will, the human condition, and the consequences of our actions.